Once upon a time in the picturesque land of Noland, a magical cloak with the power to grant wishes appeared. It was said that the cloak could fulfill the desires of its wearer or anyone who happened to borrow it. The only condition was that the cloak must be given willingly to the first person one encounters who is sad and miserable. One day, a benevolent fairy decided to take up the responsibility of spreading joy with the magical cloak. Flying across the world, the fairy encountered a young girl named Fluff just outside the city of Noland. Fluff, with tears streaming down her face, was missing her parents dearly. Flying gracefully, the fairy approached Fluff and said,
"Why are you crying, dear?"
Through her sobs, Fluff managed to reply,
"I miss my parents who are no longer there."
With a gentle smile, the fairy handed Fluff the magical cloak.
"I cannot bring your parents back, but I can give you this. This is a magical cloak. It will grant its wearer one wish. If you give the cloak willingly to someone or if anyone accidentally borrows it, the cloak will grant each such person one wish. Would you like to make your wish now?"
Fluff wiped away her tears and nodded.
"Yes, but what should I wish for?"
The fairy replied,
"Be wise in your wish, for the cloak's magic is powerful."
Fluff thought for a moment and then said,
"I wish that no matter what happens in my life, may I always remain happy and wise."
The fairy smiled.
"This is indeed a wonderful wish. I am proud of you, Fluff."
As soon as the wish was made, Fluff felt a warm and comforting sensation. The cloak shimmered with magical energy, and Fluff couldn't help but smile. The fairy then continued her journey, leaving Fluff with a newfound sense of happiness. Time passed, and Fluff and her brother Bud found themselves in an unexpected position. Their Aunt Rivette, who had borrowed the magical cloak without knowing its powers, became the ruler of Noland. According to the kingdom's law, the 47th person to enter Noland after the king's passing would become the ruler, and Aunt Rivette happened to be that person. Despite initial confusion and reluctance, Bud and Fluff embraced their roles as king and queen, promising to rule with justice and wisdom. The magical cloak, temporarily forgotten, played a pivotal role in their rise to power. One day, as they were discussing matters of the kingdom, Bud noticed something missing.
"Fluff, where is the magical cloak? We haven't used it in a while."
Fluff thought for a moment, and then gasped.
"Oh no! I lent it to Aunt Rivette when she wanted to attend that royal function. She must have left it somewhere."
Realizing the potential consequences, Bud and Fluff hurried to find their aunt. They discovered her in the royal garden, where she was tending to the flowers.
"Aunt Rivette, did you leave the magical cloak somewhere?"
Bud asked anxiously. Aunt Rivette looked puzzled.
"Oh, the cloak. I must have left it in the bazaar." "Why?"
Fluff explained.
"Aunt, that cloak is magical. It granted us wishes and played a role in making us the rulers. We need to find it before someone else does."
Panicking, the trio rushed to the bazaar. Aunt Rivette retraced her steps, and soon they found the magical cloak lying near a fountain. Relieved, Bud said,
"We should keep this safe and use it wisely. We never know when it might be needed."
As they locked the cloak away, little did they know that it would become an integral part of their future challenges. The kingdom of Noland thrived under their rule, and the people were happy and content. One day, Queen Zixie of Ai heard tales of the unusual king and queen with a magical cloak in Noland. Consumed by desire, she decided to wage war to obtain the cloak for herself. The news of an impending attack reached Bud and Fluff, and they prepared for the upcoming battle. As the enemy forces approached, Fluff asked Aunt Rivette,
"Do you think we can win this war?"
Aunt Rivette replied,
"We need a strategic advantage. Why don't you use the magical cloak wisely? It might give us the upper hand."
Bud agreed.
"You're right." Fluff, let's use the cloak, but with caution.
Fluff nodded, and with the magical cloak in hand, she made a wish.
I wish to pick up every general of Queen Zishi's army and take them prisoner.
As the wish took effect, chaos ensued among the enemy forces. Bud and Fluff, along with their army, quickly captured the disoriented generals. The battle was won without much bloodshed. With Queen Zixi defeated, she approached Bud and Fluff with humility.
I realize now the folly of my desires. I was foolish to think that the cloak alone could bring me happiness. I am sorry for the trouble I caused.
Bud and Fluff, showing mercy, forgave Queen Zixi. They decided to share the wisdom they gained from their experiences. Fluff said,
We all want something just because someone else has it. But that leads to trouble, not happiness.
Queen Zixi, reflecting on her actions, replied,
You're right. I have learned my lesson.
The three kingdoms, Noland, and the now humble Queen Zixi, joined forces to promote peace and prosperity in their land. As time passed, Bud and Fluff continued to rule Noland with justice and wisdom. The magical cloak remained locked away, unused but serving as a symbol of the lessons learned. The people of Noland thrived, and the desire for wisdom replaced the pursuit of material wishes. And so, in the land of Noland, the tale of the magical cloak became a story of growth, understanding, and the importance of ruling with a compassionate heart. The wisdom gained from their experiences brought lasting peace, and the magic of the cloak was never needed again, for the true magic was found within the hearts of those who ruled with justice and compassion.